on Patreon. Thank you so very much. It is early in the morning. I've been waking up early all this last week. I don't know why. So I've been up since 5 a.m. So I thought I would get some of the water signs done before I broadcast today's forecast. So for those of you that are watching this live, I don't know if anybody's awake at this hour, but I don't have a chat box up, so I cannot see what you're saying. It's not that I'm avoiding talking to you. I just can't see the chat box, so don't take that personally. This is a broad spectrum reading for the month of October 2020 for the sign of Scorpio. So if you have Sun, Moon, or Rising in the sign of Scorpio, or you have heavily placed planets in Scorpio, you would want to maybe watch this reading just to get some insight as to what could be going on for you in the month of October. Basically, take what you need and leave the rest. All of this is very flexible. It's intended for quite a large group of people, so it's, you know, a broad spectrum reading. You have to kind of apply it where it fits. If anything doesn't make sense, that's okay. It doesn't mean anything's wrong. You just might be working on something different than what this reading entails, and that's completely acceptable and fine, and oftentimes exciting. Yeah, I'm still sort of waking up. I've been up for an hour. What was I going to say? If you make any decisions after having watched this video in regards to your day-to-day real life, those decisions would be your responsibility. Please, keeping that in mind, always trust your own intuition over anything that I have to say. And that's about it. If you like the video, please hit the thumbs up or subscribe to the channel. You can also go over to Facebook and enjoy my Facebook business page. Hit the follow button there, the like button there, and follow me so you can be notified when I go live. So now for the water signs, which we'll be doing today, Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer, I have chosen a deck. I believe this is called Learning to Witch. I have to go back to my deck unboxing videos, but I believe this deck is called Learning to Witch. And I think it is by, oh no, I'm not remembering. I'm going to look this up. My memory is shot. I've been under so much stress lately. Okay. Anyways, I believe it's called Learning to Witch by, oh, what is her name? She's from New Zealand. I can't remember the artist. I'll have to look it up and maybe put it in the, I'll comment it in the notes below. But, so I felt like this would be a good deck to use with the water signs. This first card operates as kind of like a guide or a, you know, a signpost for the month. Gives us insight into sort of what we might want to reflect upon or pay attention to. Maybe it might be a signifier of the theme of the month for Scorpio, but it's just sort of like a helping us to set the tone. So let's see what Scorpio needs to know. Okay, so this is oak. So the oak leaf, and it says invite energy in, strength and wisdom. So I like this. To me, can you guys see that? I hope you can see that. Let me get it all in the frame. I like this. Oaks are mighty and strong, but what I do think is interesting about this is that we just see only the leaf of the oak. And so, to me, although the leaf would be sort of maybe the more delicate or smaller component of the greater and more mightier oak, I think that what this is calling my attention to is the idea that we need to remember that we're much stronger than we maybe give ourselves credit for, and that we need to invite in that strength and wisdom this month, that we need to be sort of, I get a sort of flexibility with this leaf, or I wouldn't call it vulnerable, but I feel like we don't have to be so forceful or anything like that, but we have resources that we can tap upon through this strength and this wisdom of, say, the rest of the tree of us, the further extension of us, right? The deeper part of ourselves. The sort of like the wealth of experiences that we've maybe been through in our life, right? These things, even though they may not be in our very present moment, right? We might feel sort of like singular or a little bit smaller than we actually truly are if we dig underneath the surface. Does that make sense? So one leaf isn't, you know, kind of the strongest aspect, but when that one leaf is attached to a giant tree, it becomes a whole different sort of experience. Does that make sense? So I kind of feel like this is calling on us to be aware of, as we're moving through our world and experiencing it, that we have a wealth of information, a wealth of strength, a wealth of experiences behind us that create this opportunity not only for growth but for healing too, and that we can call that in at any point in time. So I keep that awareness about you throughout the month of October, Scorpio. I'm also going to say this. I'm sorry, I need more coffee. Oh, Jesus, I keep yawning. This oak leaf too also signifies, I love the color green and I love nature in the sense that nature is always sort of this connection to spirit through the natural world, and the color green always symbolizes sort of healing and growth, right? So there is this opportunity to even maybe grow ourselves smaller or gain more wisdom throughout this month of October, okay? And I know that this is, I believe October is the beginning of, right? You guys are October to November, so Scorpio season will be starting in the latter part of October, so that's exciting too. All right, so let's see what's going on with you guys' cards for the month. And again, this is broad spectrum for many people, so take what you need, leave the rest. Don't, get too hung up on exactly what I say. The center card is the card that sort of tells me where you guys are going to be vibrating at, or what you guys are going to be focusing on in the month of October. You will kind of go in and out of this card. It's not like it's set, it's the only thing you'll be experiencing. It's just sort of your set point for the month of October. I love it. So we have the Queen of Swords. Okay, she is looking to the future. What do we want to build? And the reason why I say build is because this oak tree feels to me like we're trying to call in that wisdom that would also be attained in the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is the element of air and the intellect. She's in charge. She is smart. She is analytical, right? She's thinking all the time. She's clear. She's trying to be concise. She looks like she's heading towards the future, certainly. She has her shield down, which I like that in this picture. To me, we're open. We're willing to grow. We're willing to learn, but we're going to do it with a discerning or more savvy mindset. We're not just going to be like willy-nilly trusting everybody, right? There might be even a little bit of criticism going on. There could be some of that too, but it's going to be good criticism and it's going to be for our own benefit. I feel like October is the month for my Scorpios to sort of move themselves ahead in a clear and concise way. The other thing that I like about this queen representing is because although swords is this element of air, right, which is kind of not necessarily even your complementary element, but it is a queen card, right? And queens themselves in the court represent as cups, right? So we do have this sort of blending of the mind and the emotions. So to me, our emotions maybe aren't at the forefront of the month, which is not a bad thing for Scorpio. It's just kind of like you guys are water babies, right? So you tend to like pick up on things emotionally, psychically, that sort of thing. To me, it's more about being analytical, being in charge, still remaining compassionate, being kind to others, and especially kind to yourself, but moving forward and making a decision where there's no need for pretenses, there's no need for bullshit, there's no need for, it's just like, no, I see what I want, I'm going after it, you're gonna have to step aside, people. It's kind of the feeling. I am the queen. So that's kind of the feeling that I'm getting from this. And I love the strength of this oak, right? This card oak, to me, it feels like we're standing in that strength, that awareness of our own growth, our own healing, that our own collection of everything that we've been through, everything that we've experienced up until this point, all has served a purpose, whether good or bad, however it made us feel. It's time to channel all that information into moving ourselves into something better or more ideal. I also kind of get a feeling, and it's funny, maybe it's because this is the Queen of Swords, but I feel like some of you have very specific goals. I'm not gonna pick out those specific goals but I feel like she has a very pinpointed vision. Like I feel like she knows exactly what she's looking at in the middle of this month or throughout this month. So I get this feeling that my Scorpios know exactly where they want to head and how they want to get there, and they're going to work their way towards that this month, or at least that's their central focus for the month. So that's a good thing. Okay. The next card is the foundation card. This tells me a bit about sort of why things are the way that they are. This card represents from the past, and it tells me a bit about sort of, not only what happened in the past that led these cards to be the way that they are today, but it kind of also is the memory of this card that drives everybody forward, or drives the rest of the cards forward. This everything's sort of built upon this card. Lovely. So we have the sun. Big old affirmative sun. So this is, a yes personified ultimately. The sun gives energy to everything. And the sun is the representation of the sign of Leo, right? So to me, that's that gregarious, loving, sort of, fortune, even indulgence, that kind of a thing. It's got that Leonine energy, but the sun gives life to everything, right? So I want to say that my Scorpios, if you haven't been experiencing something in the past, it just feels like there's this really good period that you've come through, or maybe there's a good period in your life that you've been reflecting upon lately that you want to get back to, right? And the reason why I say that is because it feels like to me, this Queen of Swords, she's very pinpointed on what she wants to do and how she wants to go there. She knows how she feels and she knows how she thinks about it, right? And she's not like sort of taking no for an answer. So she's drawing on her strength and her energy. She's inviting that strength and wisdom in to sort of move her and grow her and heal her and move her towards these days gone by of a more positive, wonderful, optimistic experience, right? Sun gives life and energy to everything. We all need it to survive. It lights the way for us. It's a huge affirmative yes. It's like maybe there's a strong desire to want to be in a better place. And the thing is what this feels like to me as this being the driving force, there's a lot of power too behind the sun, right? Leo being a fire sign, it's very much an action-oriented, spiritual-driven card. So this sun card being your foundation speaks to maybe there was a great period of time in the past, but we're definitely also utilizing the memory of that to kind of push us forward towards either the recreation of something similar to that, if not maybe even something better, right? And we're doing it from a place of authority with that Queen of Swords in our center in the month of October. We're also doing it from a place of sort of compassion and real clear analytical thinking, right? So let's see what the higher self card is looking at and what it's wanting. Shit, Scorpio, work it out, bitches. It's the Three of Cups. Three of Cups is always about, and this is definitely water energy, Cancer. I don't want to say Leo, that was the sun. Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio. I'm going to kill that cat. The minute I get on video, he starts wrestling the other cat. Arthur, no. Please. It's 5 a.m., dude. Cut it out. So he responds back like, me? Okay, so, sorry guys. This is my house. Three of Cups to me is always about sort of a rejoining, a celebration, this being in the spirit space. I kind of feel like this could be the mind, body, and spirit lining up for us and the good feelings that come with that, the celebration that comes with that. I also like that we have that sort of blending of the mind and the spirit going on in the Queen of Cups, right? Or sorry, the Queen, the Queen of Swords. There is that sort of balance happening there, right, of air and water, but we also have fire kind of to here, and then we have earth sort of in oak. So there is this interesting sort of balance of elements that are happening in the first few cards, and then we have this beautiful Three of Cups as the goal from our higher self. Our higher self wants Scorpio to maybe cut loose a little bit, rejoin back into like the good things in life, celebrate the joys, the wonders, the reconnecting with old girlfriends or family members that we love dearly, even if it's only through the phone. Like I know some of us are still quarantining and trying to maintain social distance and all of that. But I do feel like this Three of Cups brings about this idea that your higher self really wants you to feel the emotional well-being of being around those that you love, feeling like you're honoring them and honoring yourself, feeling that you can celebrate that again. I almost feel like when I'm looking at these three cards, right, it feels like there's a plan to make something better. I know that sounds kind of silly, but uh, it feels like my Scorpios are really concocting and analytically thinking and feeling their way through this month to try and get to this better outcome, way of being, new hope, reconnecting to family and friends, maybe getting their life a little bit back to maybe normal in some way, whatever that might be defined for you. So I like that these are the driving forces, and what's coming down from the higher self is this idea of kind of reconnecting, feeling celebratory, and having like joy again in our lives, right? And knowing that we deserve it, like really, like sort of mentally understanding that with that Queen of Swords in the middle there. Now, these next two cards are what I call the outside influences. These are things that are affecting you. They're outside of you. They're not necessarily of you. They are sometimes people or events. They can also be things more vague, like belief systems or energies that could be having an effect on you. So let's see. Hey, Five of Wands. Now, Five of Wands traditionally can be a struggle a little bit. It can be a little bit of kind of like this funny sort of competitive, like sparring energy. With this Five of Wands in this particular deck, I love this because I always look at this, and I totally cheat on the meaning of this. I always look at this as these little angels, these little cherubs are trying to get these wands to line up, right? And there's this beautiful like hollyhock or whatever that flower is, like, so that symbols like beauty and growth to me. And to me, when I look at these, it feels like they're building a ladder for us to maybe get to somewhere else. I feel like this is sort of spirit, and the reason why I also chime in on this rendition of this art and this card in particular is because we have this sun as our driving force, this joy. I mean, even if you look closely in the sun card, these ladies are dancing in front of the sun, right? They're having a good time. They're similar to the ladies that are dancing in the Three of Cups, right? We have three ladies there enjoying themselves and dancing. So to me, it speaks to this idea that maybe the outside influences could be sort of building opportunities for you. Wands is the element of fire, which is the element of spirit, right? And I feel like with the analytical nature of the Queen of Swords, like keeping our head about us and our heart about us in this month, and really inviting in this energy and wisdom that we see in this Oak card, we could potentially be able to access different avenues. Maybe some might be challenging, right? Because that Five of Wands can sometimes be a little bit challenging, but they're challenges that sort of get us to a better place, right? They're changes that sort of happen that help us to get back to like sort of what is good, what is celebrated, what it is that we want. And so when I look at these three cards through the center, I feel like we're really sort of focused on getting there. Uh, we have sort of the gas in the tank would be the sun card, right? To sort of remind us of how things can be once again. And then the Queen of Swords is really thinking analytically about how can I get there? How can I make that happen? And so these Five Swords might be just kind of building that ladder or that opportunity that and also again we have it's the element of fire, so it's about desire, action taking, that's that suit, right? And to me, I feel like those little angels down there that are like kind of manipulating those wands are giving us a new route, a new ladder, maybe through some sort of conflict or adversity at first, but it opens up the door for us to maybe move to somewhere that we need to, or that we can experience that will bring about some of these things that we're desirous of, which the desire with that sun and that Three of Cups are definitely there, right? They are definitely like what's the word, like high on our mind in the month of October. All right, so and then the next outside influence is Okay, the Six of Wands. So the Six of Wands to me, this feels, it's interesting that you have wands on both sides of you. What is that about? A lot of fire burning around you guys. Let me see here. I feel like honestly, outside influences, whether these are like, I don't feel like these are specific people. I feel like this is specific situations that are allowing us through maybe, some challenges. The six is not necessarily about challenges, the five is more so, but the six is about kind of good things happening, good things coming to us, sort of maybe, hitting a balance again, hitting a stride, being able to move towards something that is spiritually fulfilling. There feels like, to me, when I look at both of these Wands cards on either side of you, it feels like everything that's happening to you in the month of October is for your betterment. And part of the reason why that is, and it's for like a deeper betterment, if that makes any sense at all, in the sense that these are wands cards, right? So this is hitting more at the deeper desire, spirit driven kind of realm to me, right? So when I look at this five and this six, yeah, there might be a little bit of, I don't even want to call wonkiness with the five because I feel like that five is just sort of trying to set up the path for you. But it feels like the environment might be moving you towards exactly where you want to be because your focus is really positive this month. This sun underneath all of it feels like the driving force, and the sun is like a card to be reckoned with. It is like the ultimate yes card, right? The ultimate like positivity, the ultimate like highest ideal that we can come up with. So even if this is a period of the past that we're reflecting upon and going, oh, I wish I could be back there, as we wish that, and we like analytically think our way towards that in the month of October, and we would draw in on this energy of strength and wisdom in our own ability to get ourselves there, it feels like these two wands cards are kind of just lining everything up for us so that we can start to pursue that, so that we can start to do that. Will some situations be a little bit wonky or off or maybe slightly annoying to my Scorpios? Sure, you're Scorpios, like things get on your nerves, but it's all for the greater good and it's all for this bigger plan. And I feel like that's Three of Cups and that Sun card are so positive that the outcome really is, no matter what happens from coming from the outside, even if it is sort of a little bit, stretching you or adjusting you, it's going to be for your betterment. It's going to be for opportunities. It's going to help to lead you back to some of these strong desires that we have in this three and in this sun. I hope that makes sense, guys. Now, the next card is what I call the potential outcomes card. This card tells me a bit about sort of where things are going to end up by month's end for most of you, barring that nothing major changes. This is not set in stone by any means. So it is, we can use it as a warning if it's something that's negative that we don't want to have happen. We can use it as a warning to affect, make choices and changes right now so that this doesn't come to pass. But if it's something positive, we can take heart in the fact that we're naturally heading towards this card and we don't have to do much to get there. Okay? Okay, interesting. So we have the devil. The devil. Our good friend, the devil. Devil's associated with Capricorn energy. The devil to me is always about sort of needing to address something that's rather profound that might be standing in the way, that could be causing chaos in our lives, right? It's sort of that undeniable sort of elephant in the room. It's the thing that maybe we don't want to let go of, but we need to. It can also be our Achilles heel in a lot of ways, right? When I look at this Five and Six of Wands, and then I see this devil at the end, potentially at month's end, and this is the devil is also major arcana, so this is going to be a fairly significant and obvious situation we're dealing with by the month's end. I don't want to freak you guys out because I don't think that it is anything to be freaked out about, but I feel like if we really are going to attain this sort of these lofty goals of the sun and the Three of Cups, there's some shit that we need to clear out. I mean, for some of you, this devil card could be just dealing with the world in general, right? And what's going on in the world. We have elections on November 3rd, so we could be coming up, dealing with stresses and worries around things of that nature, or COVID. I mean, that could be the devil, right? Some of us, I mean, I certainly have found myself sort of addicted to like watching what's going on via Facebook, and it's like, if I'm being completely honest, it's fucking me up. Like, it's making me feel miserable. And I can't stop doing it because I'm afraid, something's going to change and I'm going to miss it. And I can't really affect it or change it, right? So, I mean, it could be something as basic as that. It doesn't have to be something personal or anything that we need to freak out about. But I do think that the devil's always there to show us where our weak points lie. And he's there to sort of grow us. Devil can also represent addictions for some of you, or challenges around that, area where we're maybe acting, lazy, slothy, greedy, addicted to something. Those challenges might come up for us by month's end. We may have to face them. We may not be able to avoid them, but we need to sort of clear them away so that we can get back to what is the driving force, which is this Sun card, right? What is this higher goal, which is this Three of Cups, right? This recommunion with those that we love, and this sort of celebration that we want to have. This kind of, I also like that the Three of Cups is up there because it makes me think of the mind, body, spirit, and it's sitting in the spirit space. It feels like equal time. We're certainly giving with that Queen of Swords in the center, we're giving the mind and even our emotions a little bit of attention throughout this month. And I think that's important. As we do that, we strengthen ourselves, right? That's this inviting this strength and wisdom in through this Oak card throughout the month. We might be preparing ourselves so that we can face some of the bigger challenges by month's end, which would be the devil, right? Now, this devil could be, and this is just sort of flashing in my mind, this devil could be, maybe some of you are in relationships that you've known are not working or are not giving you what you needed. And so by month's end, it's time to like sort of, take a real solid look at that and go, is this really working for me? Is this bringing me the positivity that it once did? Or this could be, say, job that just drains you and you don't want to go to anymore. But the thing is I feel like that Sun underneath here as the foundation, that drive for more, for like energy, for lightness, for peace again, all of that sort of stuff that the Sun represents, it sort of outweighs whatever this devil is. We just sort of have to face it and slay it by the month's end. Each one of you is going to have a different sort of devil situation. Some of you, it could be personal, very personal to you, and some of it could be very, outside of you. Like I said, maybe it's a pain in the ass boss or a philandering boyfriend. You're going to have to face that. But I think that in the end, what happens is we face that in an effort to get to this better place. We have all the power to face it, especially even with that Queen of Swords in the center. She's analytical and smart. She's got that also the Queen aspect, which is the emotions. I mean, let's face it, excuse me for yawning again, and let's face it, Scorpio, you guys are highly intuitive. Like, channel that intuition and navigate your way through this. You can. It's all in an effort to get yourself to somewhere much more suited to you and much more like abundant and joyful and beautiful. So that is your forecast for the month of October. And who knows, maybe the October, it's just October 31st is Halloween. Maybe that's when the devil's showing up. Spooky, spooky, woo! But I think some of you guys might be having to slay a few demons that you've known are there for a while now. And you're ready for it. That's my feeling, especially with this Oak card and that Queen of Swords. She has that sword. She can take that down on that devil, no problem. All right, that's your Scorpio reading for the month of October. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please leave me a comment or a thumbs up if you did. Share it out if you'd like. Share it to your spiritual groups. Help me get the word out there. I would love to build the YouTube channel even more so. All those shares and likes and everything help. Please tune in for our charmings on Sunday nights. You can always book a private reading with me if you'd like via the Facebook business page. And I look forward to seeing you guys next month. All right, take care and have a good day. Bye.